Hello and welcome to the Grown Black Woman Success Podcast, a conversation about the joys and challenges that come with achieving success, all from a grown black woman's perspective. I'm your host, Leslie Denman. Let's get this conversation started. Now, the last time we talked, it was just before Thanksgiving, so I hope you had a great time with your family and friends. I know I did. And I spent that weekend thinking about, wow, we are in the last few weeks of the decade, 10 years. And I started thinking about all that I had experienced over those 10 years. And I got emotional. I was happy. I got sad. I got excited. And I really started thinking about the next 10 years. And I thought about what can I do in 2020 to really position me for success. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about 10 things that every grown woman must have to succeed in 2020. Now, these are things that are in no particular order, but I'm sharing them with you so that we can position ourselves to win. And I know you want to win because I believe what we do in the beginning of this decade will set the tone for what happens at the end of the decade, right? I mean, 10 years, we think about, we have arrived at a point and a moment in our life where we want more. Like the past 10 years could have been great, could have been not so great. But the one thing I think we can agree on is we know it can be better. And if we want to attract success, we've got to position ourselves and our lives for such a thing because it's all about energy, right? So let's talk about 10 things that I feel like every grown black woman needs to succeed in 2020. The first thing is we've got to get that power suit, right? That suit that it might set us back a little bit because it is an investment, but it is that suit, not the suit that you wear every day, not the suit that you wear to your workshops and your book signings and your interviews. No, not that suit. We're talking about the power suit, the suit that you invest in so that when you are ready to make the purchase, negotiate the deal, sign the contract, that suit that says that you are a boss, that suit that lets everybody in the room know that a grown black woman has arrived, right? That suit that has the shoes, that has the handbag, that has the accessories, not too much, but just enough to let them know that you mean business. That's the suit that we need to invest in 2020 because, again, we are positioning ourselves to succeed, right? Now let's talk about the next thing you need. You need that timeless, classic black dress. Now, I'm going to be transparent with you. I do not own a black dress. I'm more of a suit and slacks kind of girl. I have my skirts, I have jackets, but I don't own a black dress because, listen, I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do. So I have this on my list. I am going to purchase my first black dress. Woo! It is going to stretch me. I don't feel comfortable in dresses. I just don't. But I know that it is something I'm going to need because you need that outfit of that. And, black dress just looks good on pretty much everybody. And it can go from day to evening. And it's just a timeless piece. And it's something that every grown black woman should have in a wardrobe, right? And maybe you already have your black dress. Well, consider upgrading it, right? We're talking about 10 things that every grown black woman must have in 2020 to succeed. Let's talk about the next thing, a sense of purpose. Listen to me and hear me well when I say this. You will not go into 2020 talking about you don't know what your purpose is or why you're here. Listen. Now, I'm speaking as a professional, certified Christian life purpose coach. And because I know most of my grown black women are Christians and believers, let me help you with this. It is not a mystery. Your life purpose is to bring glory and honor to God. Your life purpose is to share the good news. Your purpose is not tied to your role. It is tied to your gifts. It is not a mystery. It is simply something to be discovered. And what we have been trained to do as life coaches is to assist you in that discovery process. But to get the revelation of what you have been called to do is a conversation between you and your creator. And it's tied to your gifts. Your gifts are what's going to make room for you and bring you before great men. So we will not go into 2020 talking about, I don't know what my life purpose is. I don't really know why I'm here. I just told you. Now you need to get to work on your gifts. The next thing that you need, tied directly to a sense of purpose, is you need to invest in yourself. Get a coach. Listen, if you could do this on your own, let's be honest, you would have done it by now. And if you ask any successful person what they've invested in, they're going to say they invested in a coach. Many of them have a coach and a mentor, not to be confused. They're not the same thing. But invest in a coach, and you don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you have it, great. But it's not so much about who it is. You just want to make sure that their vision aligned. It's about where they are in their life. Because a lot of people who may be successful in the business arena but have a miserable life. Then you have some individuals who may be happy with where their life is personally, but they still need assistance themselves in building their business. So don't get caught up in what looks like. Pray and do your research and find someone that's vision aligned and a little bit further down the road than where you are. I mean, you happen to be talking to a great coach, but hey, I'm just saying, no pressure. Just invest in yourself and get a coach. We're talking about 10 things every grown black woman must have in 2020 to succeed. You need to have a plan. No going into January 2020 making resolutions that really you just talking, you have no intention. It just sounds good. No throwing things up against the wall to see what's going to happen. To see what's going to stick. No waiting on the heavenly mail where God would just drop it down from heaven and voila, your life is perfect. No, none of that. Sorry, girl. I got so excited I dropped my phone. But no, you need to have a plan. I want you to think about, now, before I say this, if you are a member of the Success Sister Circle this month, then you have received your success kit where we're talking about how to manifest the desires of our heart, which is going to help you. We're laying the groundwork for success in 2020. Now, if you're not a member of the Success Sister Circle, you don't have that success kit. So you need to go join. It is absolutely free at grownblackwomansuccess.com. We're talking about the plan. I want to ask you, what is the one thing that could happen in 2020 that if you set the intention to make it happen, it would change your life? Would it be starting the business? Would it be going back to school? Would it be getting training? What would it be? Think about that. What would happen if you set the intention to focus on accomplishing one thing in 2020 and not be distracted with anything else? Because we can get so overwhelmed with all the things that are not right in our life that we lose focus. But if you can find one thing, and if you need help with that, again, I take you step by step through this process in our success kit at the Success Sister Circle, which you can join for free at the grownblackwomansuccess.com. But get a plan and focus on one thing that you can accomplish. It may take you the whole year. It may take you a month, but all you have to do is just duplicate the process and focus on another area that you want to experience success. It's really not difficult. But the thing that it's going to take, your plan is going to take, it's going to take a passionate desire and some grit. That's the next thing that you're going to have. You're going to have this mindset to persevere no matter what. Because think about it. Over these last 10 years, what's the one thing that's happened? Life. We've all experienced things over these past 10 years. Death, betrayal, financial challenges, medical issues, just life. It happens to all of us. And then it's not all bad. We've experienced some good things too. But these are the things that typically hinder us when we talk about success. It's like, okay, now's not the right time. But you know what has happened over the past 10 years as well? Time. It has moved on. It has continued to roll. So we already know that, hey, life is going to happen either way. Let me just set the intention to succeed in 2020. Now, I may have to pause for a minute, but I won't quit and I won't get distracted. And then the next thing that you have to have, so that will help you with those distractions, is you got to have that confidant, because as we just said, life is going to happen, and you have to have that person in your corner that's been tried and tested and proven to be there for you. Not proven to be perfect, but proven to be there for you, that's not going to judge you, but it's going to listen to you, encourage you, remind you of how great you are, remind you of how awesome God is, and how his plans for you are greater than what the enemy may try to do to you. You got to have that confidant. The next thing that every grown black woman must have to succeed in 2020 is a morning routine. We had a conversation about this not too long ago, where you cannot get up and allow your day to just happen. Tamara Lowe says it like this: are you waking up bound? Like bound by just having an unsatisfied life, just dreading getting out of the bed, dreading going to work, dreading rolling over to see who's in the bed with you. Can we just keep it real? Or who's not in the bed with you? But anyway, we are talking about how to just get up about 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes early and just spending some time just commanding your morning. And you'd be surprised what that will do for the rest of your day. We're not just going to let life happen. No, we are going to develop a morning routine so that we position ourselves for success in 2020. Now, the next thing you need to have, which goes along with your morning routine, is you need to have a spiritual life. Listen, you are not going to make it only believing in yourself. Honey, life will beat you down and wear you out. You've got to believe in something deeper and higher than yourself. Nurture your spiritual life. Many of us are focusing so much on our physical, making sure that our physical looks good, but on the inside, it is weak. That's why when life happens, knocks us down, we are out for the count, or so it seems, because our spiritual life is not where it needs to be. So I want you to focus on that. Getting up, commanding your morning, reading your word, listening to music, worship. There are so many ways to enrich your spiritual life. But just having a conversation, like the old folks say, just a little talk with Jesus will make it all right. Okay, we're talking about 10 things that every grown black woman must have to succeed in 2020. And I believe this is number 10. You need to have access to $500 to $1,000. Why that number? Well, I'm going to share with you my reasoning behind it. $500 to $1,000. If you have a medical challenge, you have a car problem, that amount will usually get you over the hump. Say that there is a conference that you want to attend. That amount will usually take care of your registration, usually take care of your airfare and your hotel accommodations. Okay. That amount, if you just need to get away for the weekend for a couple of days, that amount will help you do that. So if you have that cash available, then you'll be able to take advantage of opportunities that arise or that come up in 2020. And you don't have to say, okay, well, let me wait till next payday. And, many of those things. And it's the goal, okay? Again, these are 10 things that every grown woman must have in 2020 to succeed, right? Now, you may be thinking, I got all of that. Great. Check off your list and keep moving. And I want to challenge you to look at some grown black women around you and say, okay, let me see. Do you have that power suit? What about that black dress? Do you have a sense of purpose? Have you invested in a coach? Do you have access to $500 or $1,000? Do you have a plan? Have you developed grit? What about a confidant? Do you have a morning routine? And how is your spiritual life? So if you are all set, make sure that the grown black woman next to you is set too, because we are in this together. So again, we're talking about 10 things that every grown black woman must have to succeed in 2020. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, but this is about laying the groundwork for success, because we all want to win. Again, we are nearing the end of a decade and beginning a new decade. And we are not going to go into 2020 hoping and wishing. We are going into 2020 setting the intention to win and succeed. And again, I believe that what we do at the beginning of this decade sets the stage for what's going to happen at the end of the decade. No more waiting on life to happen. No more waiting for a hand out. No more waiting for anything. Honey, it is time for us to step into our personal power and do what it takes to win. Our children deserve it. Our grandchildren deserve it. It is no longer about next week, next month, or waiting for the perfect time. The time is now. And you know, I enjoy talking to you. I will talk to you. We could talk forever. You know, we usually do. We talk way more than we should. Way longer than we should. So let's just wrap this up. I want to say how much I appreciate you. Like, honestly, I do. You show up, you listen, and you share, and I really appreciate that. And some of you have asked, where can I listen to the Grown Black Woman Success Podcast? Well, we are on most of the major platforms, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox. I'm talking about Comcast, that's cable, my bad. Ooh, maybe that's prophetic. Maybe I spoke something to the atmosphere. Anyway, but we're on most those platforms, and of course on the website, grownblackwomansuccess.com. Now, let me say this. If you are listening on those platforms, please subscribe and share. That increases our rankings, and we are trying to reach black, and I don't like using the word trying. Our goal is to reach grown black women around the world. Okay. And we are laying the foundation for future conversation, because I have some grown black women experts on deck ready to pour into us in 2020. But I had to make sure that you and I were straight, and that you understand the foundational principles of success, so that when they pour into you, it won't seem like foreign language. You'll be like, okay, I got this. We've talked about this. Girl, this is good. Just what I needed. Because it's coming. Don't worry. This is not a solo act. Again, this is a movement of grown black women who are really ready to succeed, because we're powerful, we're beautiful, and we have everything that it takes to really change this world. You know, as the saying goes, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And so I want to thank you for tuning in. And as I say on every podcast, until further notice, I am going to give away a custom, bless someone with a custom Grown Black Woman Success t-shirt. So I like to do my little drum roll. So here we go. And the winner of this week's custom Grown Black Woman t-shirt is, I'm going to say it the way she says it, Candace Juanita Beamer Fleming. Congratulations, Candace. Your custom Grown Black Woman Success t-shirt is on its way. Thank you so much for your continued support. And again, to you, keep sharing. You could be the next winner. Until our next conversation, listen, chin up, shoulders back. Now strut, girl. You know you got it like that.